You're listening to the Public Health Entrepreneurs Podcast with your host, Dr. Charlotte Huntley. If you ever feel like your business is running you instead of the other way around, then this episode is for you. Today, I'm sharing simple systems that will help you take back control. Welcome to Public Health Entrepreneurs. I'm Dr. Charlotte Huntley, and this podcast is for anyone building a business that improves health at the population level. I'm here to help you with entrepreneurial strategies that drive impact. Now, you don't need complicated tools or processes to run your business really well. A few simple systems in the right places will make everything easier. Now, I know there's a lot of fancy tools out there, and it's easy to jump around and think you need all of these fancy things, and sometimes they're wonderful. Those tools you can grow into, and at some point, they will be very important for you to have, but you can also get tripped up trying to keep up with all these different things or to develop these elaborate systems when you're just really getting started and really at the beginning of growing your business. I really think that oftentimes you won't know what's really going to be ideal for you until you've operated in your business and you've taken several steps. So some of the simplest systems can be the most effective, and you may embrace these systems for very long periods of time. I'm going to share 3 practical examples that I think you'll be able to find very helpful. I'm hoping that you can take at least one of them and be able to put to use right away. Okay. The first one I want to share with you is start with tasks that you do over and over again. If there is something that you're doing repeatedly, it needs a system. Repeating the same task from scratch every single time can cost you a lot of mental energy, and you could be using that somewhere else. So write down every task that you're doing more than once a month. Identify which task takes the longest and causes the most friction, and pick one to systematize before moving on to the next. So let me give you an example, maybe 2 examples. I know one I may refer to a few times as we continue to talk about this topic, and that is podcasting. I've been podcasting since 2017. And one of the things that I learned right away was that there are so many moving parts to the process of putting together episodes, especially when you have guests. Even if you don't have guests, there's so much involved. And I realized that I needed to have a system for this. Spoiler alert, also, a system not only helps keep things clear for you, but it makes it very easy for you to hand off to a team member when you're ready for that. But we won't go too far onto that right away. Right now, think of it as if you're doing all the things in your business, then this helps to manage your mental energy spent and helps you keep organized and helps you have that repeated process that builds confidence as you continue to deliver. So for me, podcasting was one of the things right away that we needed to build a system for. I know of a public health consultant that was writing a new response to every inquiry she received. So every time someone reached out, asking questions, reaching out through her website, she was responding from scratch every single time. When she created a simple email template, she cut her response time significantly. Her replies and responses became more consistent because you'll often find that you're getting very similar questions over and over and over again, just coming from different people. So when that happens, you can you're not giving everyone the exact same response, but you're able to start with a template, and it helps you not have to start from scratch in every response. And that's just something that is really easy to embrace when you're just getting started. Or not even just when you're getting started. You may have just been doing this for a long time and you're realizing, oh, wait a minute, I need to start to manage my energy here and bandwidth. So you may realize listening to me that, gosh, I could have been doing this all along. And that's perfectly fine. Just embrace it now. Here's number 2. A system does not have to be sophisticated to be effective. Many entrepreneurs delay getting organized because they think they need to perfect a platform or have some perfect tool. A simple document or a spreadsheet that you actually use will serve you far better than a complex system that you avoid because of the learning curve. So remember this, because that's something that I learned early on, and I did embrace that. And when I work with any clients getting started, I share the very same concept. A client tracking spreadsheet with a name, status, follow-up date, like that can go a long way. Most of you, especially if you're consulting, you're not looking to bring on hundreds of clients. As a consultant, you're bringing on a handful of clients at a time. So as you're managing who you're speaking with, your networking, your prospect list, you can really manage that well on a spreadsheet, especially in the beginning. Now, if you are doing something where you need hundreds of clients, and that may be a slightly different story, but that's a whole different type of system and setup. But when you're looking to track clients in this type of work that we do, a spreadsheet will work really well for you. Getting the details right there, follow-up dates, and keeping it organized, that goes a long way, and it just minimizes all of the clutter at the very beginning until you figure out what's really working and what the system looks like, what you actually need in your business. Also, a folder structure on your computer that keeps proposals, contracts, invoices in one place, but organized well, will serve you extremely well. Like, that's a very simple system that many start with and continue for many years, because when you are submitting proposals, you're putting a lot of the same information together. So having those pieces together, having a folder, of proposals that you've submitted, and then if they've been accepted or not, then you can just keep a really nice folder system so that you can quickly access your history and records and information. Same thing with contracts and like I said, with invoices. Folder structure really well organized on your computer, like in the cloud system, goes extremely well. So if you're using like the Google Workspace, like Google Drive or Outlook or SharePoint, those are the two most popular ones right now. Whatever you're using, there's some sort of folder system. Even if it's like Dropbox, for example, you can organize very well and be able to access wherever, on the go, sharing that with team as you start to build team as well. Also, I think a weekly checklist of tasks that you need to complete every week is also very helpful. You'll start to develop that as you create your own patterns, as you grow your business and have more clients, and you're prospecting and traveling and speaking and all the things that you may be doing. You'll start to be able to generate these things that you'll repeat week after week, or maybe throughout the month. So a checklist of tasks that you need to complete every week can become very helpful and effective. I know that again, back to my podcast example, that was something, because we have an editing team. So I'm recording episodes and putting all the pieces together and sending out to the editors, and then they send back to you. So that checklist becomes very, very important. All right. I am going to move on to my third example. So document your process so that you're not reinventing it every time. So when you write down how you do something, even briefly, you create resource that you can refer back to and improve over time, eventually hand off to someone else as you build a team. So I chuckle a little bit because I used to work in a laboratory. I have a background in clinical laboratory science, and we had a procedure for absolutely everything. And there was tons of diagnostic testing that we did. So the tests that I completed or conducted on a regular basis, I didn't have to go back to my SOPs, standard operating procedures, as often. But there are sometimes tests that I would run once or twice a month. So I would need to pull out, the instructions and make sure I'm following through each time. But knowing that that was there and kept, up to date gave me a whole lot of relief, because I didn't have to carry that in my head. So I fast forward back to now running a business. There are so many things, and also the fact that I have a team. It is really important that we document how we do things and the order it gets done, so that can be handed off to team members. And because we have we have actually quite an elaborate system now. I've been consulting for 9 years, and we operate 2 podcasts, and we have 3 full-time employees and 3 designated part-time employees. So we have a lot of systems that we put into place, and it's about documenting, the steps of how we do things that are repeated, and the descriptions and so forth. But when I first started, I had to simply just jot down what I was doing or type up what I was doing as we figured out processes. So as you're figuring it out and growing your business, make sure that you're keeping a handwritten note. It may be a Post-it note with step 1, 2, 3 that sticks on the side of your computer screen, or it may be a Google Doc. Whatever that is, just documenting those steps is really important. How you prepare, how you send invoices is one example. Because when you're getting ready to, not only don't have to carry that in your head, but you have it documented for when you want to build a team and share with someone. So how you prepare and send your invoices, notes on steps you take every time you create a new piece of content, whether it's an episode or a blog post or whatever it is, however you're creating your content, how you like it done, documenting that, because then it makes it easier for you to share with someone else. I know of a consultant that was handling every client project slightly differently, and writing down her steps helped her to become more consistent. And also that experience gave her something to build on as she grew her business. So it helps you to make sure that you're delivering consistently optimal service to your clients as well. So remember, you do not need to have everything figured out before you get organized, and start with one system. Start with one system this week and then just build on it from there. All right. I encourage you to explore our website at publichealthentrepreneurs.com. Make sure that you have subscribed to our podcast email newsletter. So you can do that through our website. And that way you will receive updates about new podcast episodes, programs that we offer. And sometimes we offer events, but we only extend that through the people that are on our email list. So that keeps you connected. And then also through our website, if you are interested in working with me to help you develop any of the strategies that I talk about on this podcast, then you can certainly just reach out to us through the website. All right, everyone. Until next time, have a fantastic rest of your day. Thank you for listening. Visit publichealthentrepreneurs.com to learn more.